Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie, and today we are back with another installment of my Polish Pickup window shopping series. Polish Pickup, or PPU for short, is a monthly pre-order marketplace that takes place on the first weekend of every month. There's always a new theme and a ton of indie brands that get together to create some beautiful nail polishes or other hand and nail care products. The theme this month is celebrations because Polish Pickup is turning 8 years old, which is so crazy to think about. I don't think I was shopping Polish Pickup way back then when it first started. It was only like in the past maybe 5 years, but I am looking forward to seeing all the beautiful polishes for this month. So as always, I will talk more about that at the end. For now, let's just look at the website. Okay, so here is the website for April's Polish Pickup. It's going to be running from the 4th through the 7th, and the theme is celebrations. I am already so excited because of the little preview at the bottom, but let's just go click into the nail polish category and just look at the first 2 rows here. And right away, we definitely have some beautiful shades that are standing out. Not necessarily ones that I'm really tempted by, or that I'm tempted to add to my collection, but I can acknowledge that they're pretty. I'm liking that greenish yellowy shimmer from the All Mixed Up, even the 2 magnetics on the bottom from Baroness X and Beau Revs. Those look really cool. Obviously the BCB looks so intense, but these are shades that are beautiful, but I can just admire from afar. So we can just move on to the next chunk here, and oh my god, I am so excited to see this Lacquer shade. It's called Eerie Silence, and yeah, it is inspired by Eerie, which was a previous PPU shade from September of 2020. I have the original. I'm pretty sure it still transitions, though it's definitely not as strong as it used to be. If I remember correctly, the flakes in the original were not as large. I feel like there's some really big, like chunky flakes in this one, which looks so cool. It's just such a cool, like, Halloween kind of polish. You guys know that I'm so when it comes to thermals, but this is one that, like, I would recommend. It is just so cool. I would entertain getting a backup, but I still have my original bottle from 4 years ago, so I definitely don't need it, even though it's like more tempting to get it just because it's like a fresher bottle and the transition would be stronger, but I know better than to do that, so I won't be doing it. But yeah, I am just so excited to see this one back, and I let me know if you're gonna be getting this one, because I want to be excited for somebody. But we can get out of there. And again, definitely other pretty shades here. I mean, the Vanessa Molina, this magnetic, it looks so colorful. It's like a multi-chrome magnetic. It has all of these different shifts. I mean, I'm sure there's like a lot of different light sources going on. Yeah, like this picture here just kind of shows a red and green kind of color, but being able to see like all these other colors is so pretty. Like I love how colorful this is, but I just know I wouldn't really end up wearing it that often. So, I will just enjoy it when I see other people wearing it, but I will be passing on this one as well. And the rest of these, are pretty. I mean, like that Bluebird looks really gorgeous, but I definitely don't need another sparkly hot pink with a blue shimmer. If anything, I guess the Cleona is immediately reminding me of Mooncat's Such Sweet Sorrow from the somewhat recent Baroque collection, though I do think this one has a little bit of a different formula, like the shimmer particles look a little different, but color-wise it seems similar from my memory. But I do think that this is a little bit more opaque, maybe. It's kind of hard to tell. I definitely do see a decent amount of nail line in this photo. I know Caitlin's nails are super short, but there's something about like the blue base, I think, in this one that is maybe a little bit more pigmented than Such Sweet Sorrow. So, in case you were tempted by that one and you already have the Mooncat one, maybe don't dupe yourself, right? But it does look really pretty. And I'm sure Nicole from Nicole Loves Nails is so excited about this Colores de Carol power number because she is a crackle lover. Oh wow, that looks kind of cool over black. Hold on. Kind of has this like teal sort of look. Okay, you know, I kind of like that, but I could probably recreate it by using like a black crackle over a teal shimmer. So, you know, I'm not tempted by it, but it's interesting to see some shimmery, glittery type of crackle polishes. Even if, you know, I'm not the target audience for it, I can respect it, right? So yeah, we can just keep going to the next chunk here. And oh man, the cuticula fairy core. I know I shouldn't. I know that I shouldn't, but it is so pretty. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of something I have in my collection that is close to this because I feel like, you know, there has to be something. Surely I already have something like this, but I can't immediately think of it because I know I have a lot of these like light purple, you know, kind of base colors, but I'm pretty sure the shimmer in those are just like more green leaning, and this looks more aqua, though I guess the shimmer does look more of that like yellowish green head on, and then it shifts to aqua. So, you know, I probably do have a polish with this exact like shimmer, but it is so pretty. And I feel like the base color in this is more of like a blue toned purple than some like reddish toned purples. I don't know how to explain it, but I just feel so weak for this. So, you know, I am gonna add it to my wish list, but I will definitely be double checking my collection because, you know, I don't want to dupe myself, but I am so tempted by this shade. I mean, it's called Fairy Core. So, okay, let me get out of here. And the other one that immediately caught my eye was the Dreamland Lacquer Celebrate Good Times. This looks so beautiful. It just looks like a bright blue version of Shake Your Shamrock, basically. Oh, okay, it's a periwinkle base stuffed with blue to violet shimmer. I do not see this as periwinkle. Is that just me? Like, is it my monitor? Because this looks like very blue. Like maybe this photo, these two photos here are kind of giving the most like periwinkle vibe, but I personally would say it's like a little bit more cornflower. These photos, I'm assuming both of these are in natural sunlight. That does not look periwinkle at all. Which, you know, it's such a trivial thing. Sometimes I get hung up on like the definitions or the descriptions of polishes, but the polish itself, like the way that I see it being so like, you know, cornflowery, I love it. It's beautiful. It's so gorgeous and glowy. It kind of is reminding me of Cirque's Wipeout. Maybe like the base shade of blue is like a little off, but sort of in that same family. And I love blues like that. So super gorgeous. A big fan of Shake Your Shamrock, and I would love to get like, you know, some sibling shades, but I think this one I can pass on it. And the only other one I want to tap into is the Cracked Polish Home by 9. First of all, love the name. I love that because let's be real, partying is fun, but nothing hits quite like slipping into your PJs at a reasonable hour. I fully agree. This is so cute. Oh my god. First of all, that's my bestie. I love her swatches. They're always so perfect. But I adore how soft and twinkly this is. It kind of reminds me of like Cutie Patootie in a way, but I kind of like this one more. I feel like this has more of like a truer like pink color, while Cutie Patootie was a little bit more in that like orchid sort of family. I really like this one. So okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna also add this one to my wish list, because if it came down to it, right, if it was between this one and Cutie Patootie, I would rather keep this one. So I think I just might have to do that. So, okay, now we can go back, and I'm not really interested in anything else here, so we can finally go on to page number 2. The garden path is gorgeous, like that greenish glow. It just kind of reminds me of Mooncat's Pixie Stick in a way, but you know, with like a slightly different finish. And so it's close enough for me that I don't need another one. The Fancy Gloss, the thermal here, it's just a cool like color combination. I love like that base thermal transition color. It's just so cool. Definitely giving me more like wintry vibes, right? You know, between this like bluish teal color and this white, but then it's sort of brightened up with these like magenta and green flakies. It's just such a cool color combination that, you know, I feel like I haven't really seen. So I just want to acknowledge that, admire its beauty a little bit, but definitely not pretty enough to bring home, unfortunately. So yeah, I'm not really feeling these other shades, so we can just move on to the next chunk. And oh my gosh, I want to tap into the KB Shimmer. You guys know I love a cute little Crelly, and I wish that I love this one more. I'm sure you can guess, you know, it's the bar glitters that like kind of take away from it, but honestly, like the bar glitters in this are not that bad. I feel like you can tell that they have, you know, the color to them, so it doesn't look like little hairs, like it's giving, you know, confetti, but I don't know, there's still just something about it that I don't like fully love, and it pains me because it's like so close to being like, you know, a super cute Crelly that I would love to have in my collection, but it's just not quite there for me for some reason. It's still cute, just not for me. Then I want to tap into this just because I want to see it a little closer, but I'm not going to be burned by this one. This is Lumen's Magic Frog, because of course they are going to be coming out with a magnetic version of Glass Frog, and you know, it looks cool, it looks very pretty, very shifty and ethereal. This photo kind of makes it look like the Starly shade. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on the name. I think it's called Polar Lights, but it's like that icy blue aqua one, but all the other photos definitely don't really remind me of it. So yeah, kind of cool, but I will not be getting it. And the only other one I really want to mention quickly is the Kathleen & Co. called Sky Beyond the Cherry Blossoms. Such a beautiful name, but it's immediately giving, you know, Mooncat's Moonrise. Maybe not so much Island Peace Flower Child, because that has a much cooler pink base where it's like kissing purple. This is definitely a lot warmer, and oh my gosh, it just looks so pretty. I adore it, especially with the matching dino. But yeah, it's definitely like a warmer and slightly deeper toned pink base compared to a lot of previous ones that we've seen, but as pretty as it is, I will not be getting it. So, you know, I'm kind of proud of myself for that, but I just had to talk about it because she's a beauty. So we can just move on now to the next chunk, and oh my goodness, that Monarch. I know I've mentioned so many times over the past like year or so that I've been having this weird thing with flakies, where for a while I thought I was kind of like falling out of love with them, you know, like they just weren't really hitting for me. And most recently with the Holo Taco Off the Deep End collection, I was like, whoa, I really love these. This polish looks like it could fit into that collection, just having that bright blue base. I don't think the base is similar to Crashing Out. That's like a deeper sort of shade. I feel like this shade of blue, I think this is the shade of blue I would have wanted to see actually from the collection, because I feel like Crashing Out was, you know, a little too similar to like Made Me Ink, like the indigo shade. So this definitely would have set it apart a little bit more. And the flakies also having that like gold green sort of colorway, super gorgeous. It's giving mermaid vibes, you know, but I don't need it. This Moonshine Manny is reminding me of the one Cirque shade. I think it's called Spoonful of Sugar from the Twisted Tea Party collection. Not quite, right? But like color-wise, it's like kind of in that same family where they could be cousins or something. I think this has more of like a linear holographic flare, and the Cirque was more of a scattered, so you know, it's like a little different but kind of similar in a way. So that's cute. The Paint It Pretty is also really gorgeous, Rainbow Prism. I was gonna say it kind of was giving like Mooncat's mermaid bait, but I think it's only in that one photo from Caitlin where you see more of that like greenish shift, but the rest of the photos where it looks a lot more blue, I don't know, mermaid bait isn't really this shade of blue, so I can't think of one that's like closer. Maybe this is just like a cousin to mermaid bait, and this also looks like it has little micro flakies. Super gorgeous shade, love it, but you know, don't need it. And yeah, I'm not really into anything else, so we can go on to the last page number 3. The Penelope Luz, that magnetic, looks so beautiful. I mean, like that bright aqua going to purple, and then in this like purple base, that looks so pretty. I feel like it's pretty unique too, maybe, right? Like, I don't know, I can't think of a magnetic that I have that looks like this, so super gorgeous. But I will be strong. I will not add it to my collection, but that is so pretty. I love that. I did also see that Polish for Days was bringing back, you know, Goblins and Ghoulies 2.0 essentially with Ghoulish. So let me know, Goblins and Ghoulies fans, are you going to be getting this polish, or are you just like, I will just throw on, you know, a little hollow flaky over, because I feel like that's all it is, right? Like it's just a hollow flaky version of Goblins and Ghoulies. So let me know if you'll be getting that. The only other one that I would love to just, you know, look at a little bit more is the Psyche Minerals Ghastly Meltdown. I just love this luscious raspberry magenta kind of base color. It looks so pretty. Love the pink reflective glitter. I'm just not super crazy about the flakies in this. If it didn't have the flakies, I probably would have been tempted to like actually get this, because I love that like jelly look. It just looks so yummy. Yeah, that is super pretty. I love it, but it's just, you know, it's just not fully there for me. I don't know why I feel like I'm being so picky with like the flakies lately. I'm just gonna say that, you know, I'm using it to my favor, right? So moving on to the next 2 rows here. The first one that is jumping out at me is the Sassy Cats Bake It Till You Make It, because I'm like, oh my god, this looks so much like Mooncat's Hermit Crab, which sadly they discontinued, and it was one of my favorite oranges from them. It has this like beautiful corally kind of undertone. I feel like, not that it's an exact dupe, I think like the flakies are a little different. They're not as large maybe as the Mooncat ones, but the base color, I feel like that's the more important thing in combination with the gold flakies. The base color looks pretty similar. Maybe not like a dead-on dupe, but you know, if you missed Hermit Crab and you definitely don't want to be paying the insane marked up prices on Mercari or whatever other, you know, secondhand sites, this might be your best bet to an alternative, because I feel like we just don't see this like specific corally base color. Hopefully we'll see more of it, you know, soon, especially in the coming summer months. But yeah, I had to point that out because I love Hermit Crab. So in case there's anybody else out there who missed out on it, this might be a good option. And the Royal Lily is pretty, but it does remind me of other shades that I have that are very similar, like sort of like Island Peas Opal Sunset, or I think it's Rogue's Emma maybe is the one that has this color combination. I think the Royal Lily just has like a deeper, more like mauve-y kind of base color, which is, you know, kind of nice, but I do prefer the pinks that I already have, where they're just like a little bit brighter and lighter. So yeah, that is fine. And we can just move on to the last couple of shades here. And yeah, unfortunately, you know, I'm not really loving the options. I didn't even really look at like the, you know, top coats or anything, the scents that they have. The vanilla cupcake, I'm assuming the Glisten Glow is also cupcake scented. Those sound like they would be so yummy. I feel like birthday cake is one of those really divisive scents, and normally I don't think I would consider myself a fan, but I do love, like, you know, making cupcakes and just how they smell. So maybe cupcake is like a different scent than birthday cake or something. Either way, I'm not going to be getting any of them because I already have plenty of base and top coats. But yeah, so lastly, we can look at the hand and nail care products. Well, not really the products, because I just want to look at wait, oh my god. I thought they didn't have it. The KB Shimmer Sugar Scrub Slice of Cake. Yes, I remember now seeing Ray share this, and she said that it was definitely sweet. It smells good, but it is sweet. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't want to risk it. I also shouldn't be getting it because I do still have, you know, a lot of scrubs to go through, but I just can't help but look, you know, just in case. In case it's a scent that like I just cannot I cannot skip. I'm sure while this, you know, probably smells super yummy, I can also be happy without it. So yeah, let's just look at my wish list now. And I just have 2 polishes, which isn't that bad because I feel like I definitely tapped into a couple of polishes this month, and I was, you know, kind of tempted, or at least like just acknowledging how pretty a lot of the shades were. Realistically, the only one that I should get, if anything, is the Cracked, because, you know, even though, like I mentioned, it is kind of similar to Cutie Patootie, I would sort of just like replace it with this one. But the Cuticula, that one's definitely harder because I imagine, you know, there are similar shades already in my collection, but I don't plan on replacing them with this one. I just would want to like add it. So I will go through and, you know, double check, but as of right now, this is my wish list. So that wraps up my polish pickup window shopping for April. Though I guess I wasn't really successful with just window shopping since I have 2 polishes on my wish list, but that doesn't seem that bad to me. I feel like that's, you know, kind of in line with what I would normally get from polish pickup. And like I mentioned before, I am planning on replacing one of the shades that I have already with one of the new ones that I'm getting. I feel like, you know, even though I'm not sticking to the 1 in, 1 out rule super hard, it definitely is really helpful to keep in mind when it comes to just, you know, being mindful with what I'm adding to my collection. But I know with the Cuticula shade, I don't really have like a good excuse other than just I really want it. So I am gonna get it. And who knows, maybe, you know, once I get it in and I am able to see it like next to other shades that I have and I realize, oh, actually maybe I do have something closer, or I just like this one more than another one, then I might be able to get rid of one, you know, who knows. But if I do end up just keeping it and adding it, that's fine too. But yeah, let me know what you think of this month's theme and offerings. I feel like there just were not as many as I was expecting. I thought this was gonna be like a bigger, kind of more exciting month. If I remember correctly, the theme last year was not focused on like their birthday at all. It was like, I think video games or something else. But yeah, seeing the theme be celebrations for this month, I mean, obviously there were like a lot of beautiful shades in my opinion, but I'm just surprised that there weren't like more. But anyway, make sure to let me know what you think down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!